Okay, welcome back to the Blue and Red Fight Pick Show. We are back by popular demand, and we are going to jump right into this as we have a double title fight pay-per-view this weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. And we're going to jump right into it as we start in the women's flyweight division as we have Veronica Hardy at minus 900 with a comeback on Brogan Walker at plus 550. Red Ray, how do you have it?
So great fight to start the card here. Not sure how Brogan Walker's still in the UFC. I think she's been off for 2.5 years. Not sure what she's doing. I think she's in the prime of her career at 30-something years old, so it can only get worse from here. She's coming off a 2-fight losing streak. She got TKO'd by a fan favorite of mine, Juliana Miller, and then she got decision by Asman Lucinda last fight. She's a black belt that's not good on the ground, and she can't strike. So she's going against Veronica Hardy here. I think she's gotten a lot better since she took that big long period of time. I think she was off for like 3 years after she got beat up pretty badly by Bia Malecki, and has come back and won 3 straight by decision before falling to Eduardo Mora last fight. But she was pretty competitive with Mora, so and Mora's would probably submit Brogan Walker in the first round here. So I'm all over Veronica Hardy. I think the odds are perfect. I just don't know how she's going to do it. She doesn't finish fights. She hasn't finished. She's gone to decision every single time since coming back. But I think with Dan Hardy in her corner, I think Dan, obviously, he's a pretty smart guy, and she listens to him pretty well. I think she can see that if Veronica Hardy takes her down, wants to throw some ground and pound here for 3 rounds, at some point Brogan Walker get out. I think it's like plus 225 for the under. If you want to play that, I think Hardy has multiple paths to finish here. So I think the 225 could have some value there. So, but Veronica Hardy, however she decides to win, maybe she just pieces her apart on the outside for 3 rounds. But I'm going to look deep into that Veronica Hardy or the under 2.5 here.
We're very much aligned here. Brogan Walker, 37 years old, been out for a couple of years, like you said. Even when she was fighting, she did not look very good. An 8-4 record is not very good. She has had some tough competition in her career, but very unimpressive. Not sure why she's coming back to fight again, respectfully. And Veronica Hardy is one of my favorite female fighters. I've been very impressed with how she's looked in the comeback. It did have a competitive fight against a good prospect, so I don't think that's going to hold her back from continue to progress in her career. Still only 29 years old. Bright future in front of her. I think she steamrolls this fight. Like you pointed out, she doesn't finish a lot of fights. I'm not sure what the decision number is on her at this second. I will take a look, but let's jump up to the next fight. We go to the men's welterweight division as we have Ramiz Brahimaj at plus 230 with the comeback on Austin Vanderford at minus 280. Start on the Brahimaj side. Looked really, really good against the Billy Goff. Was able to out-grapple him, find the submission. We know before that he got his first knockout win over Mickey Gall in a very entertaining fight. But we have seen him struggle with grapplers like Themba Gorimbo. Now, while the grappling has improved, I don't think it's going to be enough for somebody like Austin Vanderford, who we know is a former Bellator champion. We saw how dominant his grappling was in his UFC debut in a pick'em fight. I think this guy is a real deal. We know he trains at American Top Team. I think Brahimaj is going to get out-grappled in this fight. I was really impressed with Vanderford. I don't think Brahimaj has fought someone the level of Vanderford's grappling, and I do think he's going to suffocate him and grind out a decision win or find a submission, and I have to get the number on that too. But Red Ray, how do you have it?
We might be on opposite sides here. I think Brahimaj is better on the ground than you think he is. He's never lost by submission. He's 11-0 to the submission. He's a multiple time IBGF or whatever, IBJ, whatever, champion. His issue is mostly his cardio. It kind of falls off after. I think he only has one win after the first round. He's 0-4 decisions. And so that's where I do see Vanderford's path here. He's obviously a good wrestler, like you said, but he went up against Nikolai Veretennikov, who we'll talk about later. But Veretennikov doesn't have any idea what he's doing on the ground. So it was pretty easy for Vanderford to just take him down and just have his way with him. He's not going to, especially the first round, I think it's going to be a lot harder for Vanderford to, I think it's going to be super competitive. He might be able to slow him down. And then just like you said, win by decision. But I just think that Brahimaj is the better striker here. So I think the first round, we've seen Vanderford, his two losses have both come by first round KO. One was ground and pound by Musasi, and the other one was by Aaron Jeffries, first round KO. We saw Brahimaj, he guillotine choked Billy Ray Goff his last fight out, but he dropped him first. And then before that, he did knock out Mickey Gall, but I mean, that's not that impressive. But he's got power in his hands. That's all I'm saying. So he's going to be with the better strikers for the first round at least. And so he does have a chance. I think he's got a path there for the first round. I think if you're going to play Brahimaj, play him like in a parlay, like under 1.5. I think that's how he wins. I think if he gets past 1.5, then it's probably because Vanderford's winning with minutes on the ground. But I do think Brahimaj is going to get a finish here. So I'm going to be on the Brahimaj side. Not overly confident, but
what is the official pick?
Brahimaj. I think he KOs him.
Okay, that is plus 900. I like Vanderford by points, by decision at plus 110. Veronica Hardy by decision is also minus 135. We move up the card and we're going to keep it in the men's welterweight division as we have Punila Soriano at minus 320 with the comeback on Nikolai Veretennikov at plus 250. Red Ray, how do you have it?
I've been super impressed with Soriano since he moved down actually to welterweight. His issue at middleweight was everyone talked about how good of a wrestler he was, but he seemed to gas out after about a minute or after the first round, almost in every one of his fights. So then he was just afraid to grapple, and then he would just try to strike and knock people out standing, and then he would still get tired just standing. So we've seen him. I mean, he got rear naked choked by Stolfitz at middleweight in the second round. He got TKO'd by Kopilov in the second round. He even lost to Nick Maximoff by decision, which is not great. But since coming up to welterweight, I mean, he beat Miguel Baeza, who's whatever. But the more impressive thing was that his cardio looked great. He took down Baeza every single round. I played him in DraftKings that one week, and there he had like 200 points because he had a bajillion takedowns and like 9 million strikes on the ground. So that was a super impressive. And then he came back last fight and fought Euros Medics and KO'd him in 30 seconds. So hard to say what would have happened if he went past there. But it looks like his cardio looks a lot better at 170. And now he's taking on Veretennikov, and who, like we just said, can't grapple. So I think he should just take him down and dominate him on the ground, and he could TKO him. Maybe just goes to decision. Veretennikov's tough, but we did see him. He just couldn't get out of any positions against Vanderford. He was just stuck down there. And then we saw him fight Prado last fight. And I mean, Prado is there's like a featherweight masquerading as a welterweight. He's like 5'2", so just refuses to cut any weight. So, and he was like having issues grappling with him. And so if Puni comes out here with a good game plan and takes him down, then I think he should be like a minus 1,000 here. It shouldn't be an issue, but he fights out of Extreme Couture. We've seen them; they just don't have good game plans lately. And if he was coming off the Baeza fight, I'd be more confident. But he's coming off of a fight where he just KO'd a guy in 30 seconds. So that makes me worry that he might just go back to where he just starts striking. He's not the greatest striker. I think Veretennikov's probably the better striker here. So I'm going to take Puniali. I think he gets a late TKO, maybe get second or third round TKO. And I'm just going to trust that he does it, goes with the takedown game plan. Hopefully, I know he has got a 37% takedown defense. Soriano does, but that was at middleweight. Hopefully, I don't think Veretennikov is good enough to take him down and keep him down. So hopefully that's not an issue here if he gets tired. But I'm just going to trust that Puliano has good game plan, comes out, maybe strikes for a little bit, and then just starts rinse and repeat with the takedowns.
Yeah, very much aligned here. I think Soriano has much improved in his UFC career, and even the guys that he's lost to, Brendan Allen, Roman Kopylov, he's not losing to Joe Schmoes. These guys are legit. Now at the correct weight class, I've been really impressed in the past couple performances. We know he can grapple, we know he can box, and I've been super unimpressed with Veretennikov. I think this is going to be his last fight in the UFC. I think Soriano controls this fight any way he wants it, whether it's in the striking, the boxing, or if he chooses to grapple. I think he can definitely out-grapple and exhaust Veretennikov. I could see a knockout early, or I could see a knockout late. I do like Soriano by TKO at plus 130. Move up the card to the men's bantamweight division as we have Patchy Mix making his return at minus 330 with the comeback on the newcomer and former KSW champion Jacob Wiklacz. Help me out here, Red Ray.
I would say Wiklacz, maybe. Yeah, it's Polish, so it probably doesn't even make any sense once you actually hear it.
Jakob is what we'll call him. I'm going to start on the Patchy Mix side. Very unimpressed by him in his last fight. His striking looked horrendous. He got pieced apart by Mario Batista. I will say that was a red and blue pick, was Mario Batista. As far as Jakob here, I think he's getting a little bit of a fade from the public just because Patchy Mix still kind of has that name value. These guys are both grapplers. But there's no denying KSW is a legit organization. I think this guy is UFC ready. I think this is going to be it's an interesting fight. You have two grapplers here. Mix, they're saying in his camp he's got a fire lit under him after he was embarrassed in the last fight, but I would hope he would have a fire lit under him for every fight in every training camp. I don't know a lot about this newcomer. I didn't get a lot of time to look into it. I'm really going to stay away from this fight in general. Yeah, I don't really have a pick. If I have to pick, I'm going to go with Jakob just because I thought Mix looked really, really bad in his debut. So I'm going to go Jakob by decision. Will be my official play. Let's pass it over to Red Ray for some insight. Red Ray, how do you have it?
As we know, as we both picked Mario Batista last time, I felt like that was just a bad matchup for Patchy Mix. I know a lot of people, I'm still hearing it this week when I'm hearing breakdowns that people talk about how good of a wrestler he is. I don't know what fights they're watching. He's never a good wrestler. He doesn't wrestle. He's great. He has great jiu-jitsu, but he's not a great wrestler. And his stand-up is very basic. He's very long. He uses his range, and he tries to keep space, and then usually forces people to try to blitz him, and then he takes advantage that way. He's going against Jakob here. Jakob's record's a little gloated. He's faced the same guy 5 times.
I love that.
He's 3-1-1 in those fights. A guy named Sebastian. I'm gonna blow this one. Biz is what it looks like. Biz, who doesn't seem like a terrible fighter. He's as is the last guy he fought. Also, he's 12-4-1 now, so he's not terrible. He first fought him when Biz was 2-0, so that shows you how long it's been. The first fight was when it was in 2017. They fought to a unanimous decision win for Jakob. Then they rematched in 2020. Biz got his one win there by punches to the body KO. Third one was a Jakob's split win in 2022, then a draw in 2023, and then finally in Jakob's last fight, he guillotine choked him to really put to an end to this. What do they call a five or a
Saga. Yeah, I don't
quintilogy?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jakob's not very good in my business. I think he's a good grappler. He's very aggressive. He's a terrible striker. He's probably worse than Patchy. I think this is actually a great matchup for Patchy. I think Patchy should be like minus 500 here. I think Jakob's going to force the grappling, which is exactly what Patchy wants, and Patchy's going to be the much better grappler. So I don't think Jakob's a terrible fighter. I just think it's also a bad matchup for him. So I think Patchy gets a submission here. Could be as early as the first round. I think Jakob comes in there. He's going to get Patchy's grappling is so good that I think he's got great guillotines, great front chokes. I think you get an early one here. Jakobs hasn't faced anybody but Patchy's grappling, and even if they stand up, I think Patchy could just jab him to death. To be honest, but they won't just stand. Jakob he forces the grappling in all of his fights. So yeah, so Patchy will get a early early submission here, bounce back fight for him.
Patchy mix by submission is currently plus 175. We're going to go now to the women's bantamweight division as we have Macy Chiasson at minus 200 with the comeback on Yana Santos at plus 170. Red Ray, how do you have it?
We were both, I think, both on Macy last fight. She fought Kaylin Vieira. Didn't go very well. Kaylin kind of just controlled the fight. Wasn't anything wild, but she just kind of just got beaten for 3 rounds. And Yana's coming off the victory over Misha Tate, which I think we were both on Misha Tate there also. And we thought Misha would wrestle more than she did. And she decided once she got a takedown, she did get a takedown in the 3rd round and almost finished the fight. And Yana Santos is terrible on the ground. So in this fight, I know, what did the odds, did you see what the odds were? I don't have it written down here.
We have Macy
I
Chiasson at
think
minus 200 and Yana Santos
200.
plus 170.
I think that's pretty normal or pretty expected odds here. I think Macy's probably, but if they stand up and strike, I think it's probably going to be pretty even. Yana might be the slightly better striker, but I think Macy can get this fight to the ground. And if she does, I don't think Yana's good at all on the ground. I think Macy could finish her by TKO. It's obviously a woman's fight, so who knows if she can get the finish here. But I think Macy was just in a bad matchup last fight against Kaylin. You can't take Kaylin down, and Kaylin's one of the best boxers in the women's division. So it was probably just a step up too. I don't know if it would say too quickly at this point. Macy's been fighting for a while, but just Macy's not at that level. But Yana's more of her level, and she, I think, just handles business here. I'd probably say Macy by decision here, but if she does get the fight to the ground, if she gets the fight to the ground for more than 1 round, I think she finishes Santos on the ground.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have a great read on this fight either. We were on Chiasson against Vieira, and she just got basically death grappled the whole fight. Couldn't do anything off her back. Did look impressive in the previous 2 fights before that, so it could have just been a bad matchup for her. But Yana Santos was pretty impressive with her takedown defense against Misha Tate, and was able to outpoint her on the feet for 2 rounds. So I don't know what to expect in this fight. I feel pretty confidently it's going to end up going into decision. I don't see either of them finishing each other. I know fight to go to decision is minus 210. I will lean Macy Chiasson by decision because I do think she has more versatile ways to win. She can grapple more than we know Yana Santos can. So with the different paths, I'm going to lean Macy. Let's hope she has a better game plan than she did her last fight. I'm going to take Macy Chiasson by decision at plus 125. We are now moving to the preliminary card, past the early prelims, and we start in the middleweight division as we have a Teeb Gautier at, oh boy, do they have a line on this? I don't see a line out for this fight yet because we had an opponent change, but it is Teeb Gautier, and we're going to assume he's about minus 2,000 with the comeback on Tristan Vines at about plus 1500. Uh, Respectfully, Gutierrez has been an absolute animal so far in the UFC. He's looked incredibly good. This guy is only 23 years old, trains at Manchester top team. Um, this guy's the real deal. He's legit. He's a mini Ngannou. His nickname's the Silent Assassin. He's been knocking everybody out so far in vicious fashion. And unfortunately for Tristan Vines, he is taking this fight on very short notice and has already been KO'd or TKO'd in three fights. He's 10-3, and he has been TKO'd and finished three times by much lesser competition. He is literally being served up on a platter here. This is going to be a Gutierrez knockout in the first round, and my guess is that number is going to be probably like minus 300-ish. But that's going to be the official pick. Red Ray, anything to add here?
No, I don't even like Atiba Gutierrez. I don't think he's very good. But this guy is just taking this fight so he can get in the UFC. So he's going to
Yeah.
get knocked out in the first round. So
All
I
right,
don't
we'll
really
move
much
right
to say there.
along. Move right along. We're going to move to the men's featherweight division as we have Daniel Santos at minus 140 with the comeback on Ju Sang Yu at plus 120. Red Ray, how do you have it?
This is probably the hardest fight on the card for me to predict. We saw Jusang Yu last fight against Jekka. TKO'd him or KO'd him, I think, in the first round. Jekka sucks. I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. He's one of the worst fighters. And besides that, he hasn't really fought very good competition. So, I mean, I don't think Jekka's very good competition. So that might have honestly been like one of his best fights. I mean, he's gone to decision against a guy that was 35, 25, and 11. 11 draws. So I don't know what kind of shenanigans that guy was up to. He went to decision against a guy that was 25 and 26. Went to decision against a guy that was 2-6. Went to decision against a guy that was 18 and 7. So I think a lot of people I saw on Tapology, I think 70% of people here are on you, but he's the underdog. The line's not moving. So I think the sharp betters are on Santos here. I think a lot of people think that because he knocked out Sergey in one minute that he is this big finisher. He's not a huge finisher. He's a good striker and he's got good grappling, but I don't think he's the greatest, as good as everyone thinks he's going to be. And he's going against Daniel Santos here. Santos has never been finished. I don't even think Santos is wildly good. I think his stand-up is pretty sloppy. He comes from that Charles Oliveira gym. But he did pretty dominantly beat Jung Lee last fight. We were both on Lee. We thought Lee was just going to be cleaner everywhere, and it wasn't really even close. I mean, I think he 30-27 him. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think there was any round that was even close. He just looked like he was much better in every area. So he might be vastly improving. I mean, now he was a year and a half off between that time. So now this has been, what has he fought in May? So another 6 months he's taken off. So he's a young fighter. He's probably getting better. I don't think Yu's going to be like better anywhere. I think Santos is going to probably have the higher volume on the feet. I think Yu's best chances to win by KO here. I don't think he's going to be the better grappler. I think Santos is pretty good on the ground also. So I'm going to take Santos here by decision, but I could possibly see a late TKO if he overwhelms you. I don't know if Yu's fought anybody of this caliber, but for now I'll just go Santos by decision.
Yeah, this is a really hard one. I agree. This is probably the hardest one to pick. Yeah, we were on Lee, but I know we were on Lee because Santos was taking the fight on short notice up a weight class, um, off a 2-year layoff. So it's almost been only about 4 months now since then. So he should be fully healthy with the full training camp against Ju Sung Yu, who has probably not fought anyone the level of Daniel Santos yet. He did have an impressive knockout in the last fight, but I think this is quite the step up in competition for him. These guys are both well-rounded. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm going to lean Santos with the experience. Um, and that line is plus 160 Santos by decision. We move up to the bantamweight division as we have Chris Gutierrez at plus 325 at the comeback on Farid Basharat at minus 450. I'm on Basharat in this fight. We know Gutierrez really struggles against grapplers. And here we have a very impressive grappler so far in his career, only 28 years old, 13 and 0, 5 and 0 in the UFC so far. Has proven that he can grapple with some solid opponents. We saw him out grapple Blackshear. Um, and we've just seen Gutierrez have this fight a few times now where he fights someone who can grapple and he gets taken down and he gets tired as the fight goes on. I like Basharat quite a bit in this fight. We haven't seen Gutierrez have many knockouts in the UFC. We know the famous knockout of Frankie Edgar, but Frankie Edgar was on his last leg. And other than that, he had two other KOs against lower level guys, uh, 3, 4 years ago, 7 years ago. Um, yeah, this is just a nightmare matchup for El Guape, and I like Basharat by decision at minus. Oh, not available. Don't have the line just yet. Red Ray, how do you have it?
Yeah, we're pretty aligned here. I don't see how Gutierrez wins really.
I have it.
His
Minus
mate.
185. Minus 185. Basharat by decision.
Um, yeah, like you said, not a good night. He doesn't stuff takedowns. What's Gutierrez's takedown defense is 70%, but once you get him there, he doesn't get back up. Maybe he gets up in like the first round or so, but he's so afraid of getting submitted that he just doesn't take any chances. So he'll just lay down, and just basically just take the fight as it goes. He seems like a very much a mental, like, if he starts to get down on a fight, it just forget it. He's just done for the fight because he doesn't have like the confidence or the willpower to like try to change the path of the fight. So Fareed's obviously the better Basharat brother. We've seen his other brother now. I think lost twice, just got knocked out by Ricky Simon. Um, Fareed's the better striker. If it just stays standing, then it's probably a pretty even fight. But like you said, Fareed will get it to the ground like he has against other much better. I mean, Damon Blackshear is much better on the ground than Gutierrez. He'll take it down. I don't think he's going to submit him because, like I said, Gutierrez just refuses to take any kind of chance where he like will give up his back or anything. He'll just lay on the ground and just take punishment for the whole 5 minutes. So um, I think Fareed just finishes him, or I mean, just goes to decision here and wins a unanimous decision. Minus 3.5 or minus 5.5 is probably all in play.
Okay, let's move up to the middleweight division and the main event of the prelims as we have Edmund Shahbazyan at minus 350, one of Blue Bart's favorites with the comeback on Andre Muniz at plus 270. Red Ray, how do you have it?
Edmund's not one of my favorites, I'll tell you that. I think he's pretty average. So last fight, I was all over Petrowski, who also I hate. So if I like
You
Petrowski
love
over Edmund.
Petrowski. You love
Um,
Petrowski. You always bet
so
him.
I do, unfortunately, always do. I don't know, and it always gets me. But I saw Edmund last fight actually showed some slight improvements. I guess his cardio looked better. He didn't gas like I thought. I thought for sure it'd either be a Petrowski by decision or Edmund by KO, and Edmund won by decision, and he pretty much controlled all three. He almost dropped Petrowski in the third round, but he was pretty inactive. I know it says that Petrowski had 2 of 6 takedowns, but he really didn't try at all. I mean, Andre just wants to be a striker now, so he didn't have any control in any of the rounds. And I mean, Edmund only landed 53 strikes for the whole 3 rounds, which is nothing. But going against Muniz here, pretty solid fighter. I mean, obviously high level jiu-jitsu guy. His stand up sometimes looks good, which is the weird part about him. sometimes it looks like might be the worst stand up in the planet, and then randomly he'll outstrike Brandon Allen on the feet. So you don't know where that comes from. But then 2 fights ago, he put on an absolute wrestling clinic against another one of Bart's favorite fighters, Jung Young Park, who also isn't very good. But then the fight before that, he lost to Paul Craig, which is wild. He got ground and pounded by Paul Craig. One of the most wild things I've ever seen. I think he was like a minus 500 in that fight, and got TKO'd by Paul Craig. But I don't think his chin is that good. Last fight he got KO'd by Ikram, but that was a bad matchup for him. Ikram's a better striker, and he's not going to be able to take Ikram down. If Edmond comes out here with his game plan where he's just tapping, I don't know if he is going to be able to make it last all 3 rounds. I think Prochazka just wasn't going to shoot takedowns. Muniz will not stand there and not shoot takedowns for 3 rounds. He'll shoot it repeatedly. And then if he gets Edmond down, I mean, he's much better on the ground than Edmond. So I'm actually on the Muniz side here. I think Muniz can. I think he's good enough to get Edmond down in the first round. I know Edmond usually has a pretty good takedown defense in the first round. But I think Muniz's wrestling has gotten a lot better in the last couple of fights. He could gas, like I said, like he did gas in the Paul Craig. That's why he lost in the second round. And when he's on the bottom on the ground, he's not great. But when he's on top, his top game is smothering. And Edmond's not going to get on top of him. It doesn't matter if Edmond's a white belt. Doesn't matter if he gets on top. Obviously, Edmond can KO him. He doesn't have the greatest chin, but I didn't like that Edmond couldn't knock out Andre Petroski. Who has a worse chin, Edmond or Petroski or Muniz at this point? I mean, it's hard to say. I would say Petroski, honestly. I don't know. He just got knocked out by Cam Rouston, who has no power. So in the first round, so I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to take Muniz. So I'm going to get late submission here, second, third round submission. Andre Muniz back in the win column.
What is Shahbazyan's kryptonite, Red Ray?
Grappling.
No, it's his cardio. It's his cardio,
Yeah.
right?
But his
Does
grappling's not
Muniz have
either.
good cardio?
It's not. How many?
No.
He just had. It's not bad.
No, it's bad. No, it's
Whose
bad.
cardio's worse, Edmonds or Muniz's?
We're gonna find out. But Muniz's is bad enough that it's not going to be
Muniz
a
just had
problem for Shahbazyan.
He won a decision against Jung Young Park, and he had 11 takedowns. That's impressive.
Edmond's a bigger opponent than the turtle. As much as we love him here on the podcast, but I like this matchup for Shahbazyan. Muniz is getting older. He's getting slower. He's been knocked out 6 times. I think in the last fight for Shahbazyan, we saw him have maybe an improved, a wiser game plan to not take as many chances, to not want to get taken down and get tired. Against Petroski, who we know the only thing he can do is wrestle. So I don't think Edmond wanted to put himself in a bad spot and get put on the bottom and not be able to get back up. Needed to stay in the win column. Needs to start putting some wins back to back to back rather than win lose win lose. Muniz has just looked so unimpressive to me. His chin is gone. He got KO'd bad in the last fight. I know you said it was a bad matchup, and it was. I think he's getting put out again in the first round here. I think Edmond takes him out. And what I love about this fight for Edmond is that he's fighting someone who also has a terrible cardio. So we've seen Edmond get finished a lot in the later rounds. Third round to Derek Brunson, lose decision to Hermanson, late second round to Imavov. Third round to Hernandez, second round to Mearshart. A lot of these fights he was doing well in until he wasn't. Not all of them, but a good amount of them. He's improving. He's only 27 years old. He's now just getting into his fighting prime. He's been dedicated to the game for a long time. He's been in the UFC for a while now. And he's getting into his prime, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. I think he's going to get a highlight reel knockout here to add to the resume and start putting himself back into the top 15 conversation. So Edmund by KO is the official play at -175. We now go to the main card, and we are going to keep it in the middleweight division as we have Abus Magomedov at +220 with the comeback on beat Joe Pyfer at -270. We'll start on the Abus side here. This was a famous red versus blue last time out, as I was on Abus Magomedov and Red Ray was on his favorite fighter, Michel Pereira. And we saw what happened there. Abus was able to take him down, beat him up, um, control most of the fight. He is on a three-fight win streak, but these guys are they're not on the level of Joe Pyfer, in my opinion. This is a bad matchup for Abus. He's not going to be able to take down and control Joe Pyfer. I don't see him ever taking down Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer is way too big and strong. Um, and Abus does not want to get into a striking exchange with Joe Pyfer because we know the power that's coming back on the other side. Both these guys tend to slow down as the fight goes. So I'm not sure that's going to be a huge edge either way. If anything, I think it's better for Joe. We saw him lose the last round to Gastelum because he just wasn't doing anything. I think that Joe was a little too conservative in that fight. I mean, we saw him drop Kelvin a couple times and just let him back up, not trying to finish the fight. Um, I feel pretty confident he's going to knock out Abus here. I like it quite a bit. I do think that he's going to have the confidence in his hands. And when he does put him down, I think he's going to go for the kill. He's got to know that he's got an opponent here who's also going to get really tired as the fight goes on. Um, and so I like Pyfer quite a bit here by first round knockout. Let me see if I can get that for you. Joe Pyfer by knockout is +150. First round knockout is +350. Red Ray, how do you have it?
First off, I didn't know Michel Pereira was going to come in the fight drunk, so that's not my fault. And he still only took him down one time and got outstruck the last two rounds. So that's how bad he is. Abu
I'm
stinks.
seeing 30-27 here.
Yeah, and he got outstruck. What does it say? He got outstruck 25-24 in round two and 41-36 by a drunk guy in the last two rounds. So that's all I needed to see. Anyways, a boost, not great on a three-fight winning streak, but he did have the impressive win over Bruno Ferreira. I guess he subbed him in the third round. That was pretty impressive. It seems like Bruno has taken his career more serious since, though, and he looked like he gassed pretty bad in that fight, and he's looked a lot better since. But Abus is a decent striker. He's got good power. He's super long, but he doesn't really want to fight. He wants to make it pretty. Pyfer's, covers in all areas here. I'm not really sure how Abus wins. Pyfer's the better striker. I know he's low volume, but he still usually out volumes his opponent because he's so defensively sound. So he's not much. He's gonna be. They're the same height, so it's not like Abus usually is a pretty big middleweight. He's gonna be the same size here. Pyfer, I know he's got a low IQ. After I watched him last fight, he should have taken down Kevin Gastelum. Never did. So I don't expect him to. He could probably take Abus down here and beat him up on the ground. He's better jiu-jitsu than Abus, but he probably won't. He's probably just going to stand and try to strike. But like I said, he's got the bigger power. He's going to land one of his big shots early. I mean, he dropped Gastelum last fight multiple times. Gastelum's got one of the best chins in the world. So he's going to drop Abus here. Abus not going to survive like Gastelum did. So just like you, Pyfer round 1-2 KO.
Yeah, Abus
Really
also got
confident
knocked
about it.
out by Sean Strickland, who doesn't knock out anybody.
Yeah.
So if you're getting knocked out by Sean Strickland, I'm pretty confident you're going to get knocked out by Joe Pyfer.
I mean, if you can't finish a drunk guy, how am I supposed to expect you to finish anybody else?
Great point.
I mean, who did he just get knocked out by? Who did Pereira just get knocked out by? Kyle Dawkins. Kyle Dawkins knocked him out in the first round. At Boost, 3 rounds couldn't do it.
We don't need to talk about that. Let's move up to the featherweight division. As we have Josh Emmett The 40-year-old coming in at plus 400 with the comeback on Yusuf Zalal at minus 600. Red Ray, how do you have it?
Seen a lot of people on Josh Emmett this week. Usually I'm one of those guys because I'm always just assuming that he's going to land one of his strikes and knock people out. I mean, I think I was on him against Ilya. I think I was on him against Lerone Murphy. He just doesn't really ever land that strike is the problem. So, I mean, he landed 87 times on Ilya, never hurt him. Landed 41 times on Murphy, never hurt him. I think this is a very similar matchup. I think Lerone Murphy fights very similarly to Yusuf Zalal. They both like to be on the outside. Um, they're quick and they like to skirt the outside. They're not really like loading up on their punches. They're just like they like kind of just touch and move type of guys. Emmett just sits there, he plods. They're going to be in the big cage. Doesn't work out for Emmett there. I know Emmett got 4 takedowns against Murphy. I don't even think he gets those against Zalal. I think Zalal's a better wrestler than Murphy is, and so I don't even think he can get he was able to like mildly win minutes against Murphy with the grappling. I don't think he has that path here. His only path is to land one of those big huge bombs that he throws. But Zalal, I don't even know if he's been knocked out. I think. Let me see.
He has not,
No,
never been finished.
all of his losses by decision. Yeah, I mean he fought Ilya, and not only, I mean Ilya hits harder than Josh Emmett. Not only did he take all of his punches, but he dominated the third round against Ilya, gained him gas, made him try to wrestle. So, um, I mean, I think just Zalal here cruises. I know he saw him last fight. It wasn't a great third round look against Calvin Kattar. He kind of was running away. Kattar, obviously, we see he's a shell of himself at this point, but I mean, I don't think Josh Emmett ever like forces pressure like that. He just kind of just plods and waits and tries to counter, throws big overhands. I mean, I've seen in his he's put out like fight videos, like prepping for this fight, and then it's him just boxing guys. It's like he doesn't learn. I mean, people in boxing, there's not a lot of movement. Guys are just sitting in front of you. It's not how Zalal fights. He needs someone in there that's just going to basically just fight like just like on the outside, and a speed guy. You don't need a boxing guy. So I don't know. I just think Zalal could pretty much do whatever he wants here. I think he probably wins by decision. I mean, pretty tough. But I mean, we did see him get subbed by Yair Rodriguez after he got hurt. So I think Zalal, if he gets his back at any time, might be able to sub him. But I'll take Zalal by decision here.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. Zalal is a big prospect in the UFC. He's on a 4-fight win streak. We know this is a second stint in the UFC. He's now in his prime. He's 29 years old. He's going to have a reach advantage. He's going to have a height advantage. He's got more paths. Emmett, he's 40 years old. I'm hearing people say he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, him being in shape has never been an issue. We know he's always going to be in great shape. Um, it's more of a technical issue than an in shape issue. Um, Zalal, I will say he kind of struggled with finding some grappling against Calvin Kattar as much as he tried. He did dominate the first 2 rounds, went on a little cruise control in the third, but um, I think the line's a little wide, but I do feel pretty confident in Zalal here. I'm going to pick him by decision at minus 190, but by no means is that a mega play for me. Let's move up the card. It's going to start getting fun now as we go to the light heavyweight division as we have Yuri Prochazka at minus 175 at the comeback on Khalil Rountree at plus 145. We'll start on the Rountree side here as he had a dominant win over Jamal Hill in their main event. Just a few months ago, back on June 21st. I think the difference in this matchup is Jamal Hill is someone who was not pushing Rountree back in the fight. Rountree was able to hold his base in the center of the octagon, leg kick him to death, took away the power from Jamal Hill, was forcing him to change stances up. We know Jamal Hill's not comfortable fighting orthodox when he gets taken out of his southpaw stance. Um, and was just able to pick him apart. I mean, he destroyed the leg and then just picked him apart for the entire fight. I think the difference in this fight is Yuri is a crazy man who's going to be coming forward towards him with in all different angles. He's not someone that's going to let you push him back up against the cage. Uh, he can switch stances. He can fight from both ways. He's going to throw punches from left, right, up, down, east, west, north, south. Can grapple too. Uh, I just think that unorthodox style against a guy like Rountree, who's used to fighting guys who fight very, very conventional, like Jamal Hill, Alex Pereira. Um, I think this is going to be the first time he's fought someone as unorthodox as Yuri is. We have seen him get put out. We know eventually Pereira did put him out. We saw him get knocked out by an unconventional guy like Johnny Walker, unconventional guy like Ian Kutalaba. He is 35 years old, um, and I've always thought he was slightly overrated when he got the Pereira fight. He came off wins over Anthony Smith, Chris Dawkins. I thought he lost the fight to Jacoby. Granted, he did look good in his performance against Jamal Hill. I think he had a great game plan, executed it very well. I think it's hard to execute a game plan against a guy like Yuri unless you're going to knock him out like Alex Pereira has. Roundtree never knocks anybody out, so I don't really think that's going to be an avenue for him. Unless you're fighting Anthony Smith, Chris Dawkins, I should say, with guys with no chin. But Yuri only got knocked out by devastating power of Pereira. Roundtree, little too technical. Don't love the matchup for him. I like Yuri quite a bit in this fight. Um, I am going to take him by decision at minus plus 135. I'm sorry. No, that's not right. Uh, doo, 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 doo. Yuri by decision at plus 450. Red Ray, how do you have it?
Yeah, I'm on the Yuri side here. I think Khalil likes to, if you watch any most of his fights, he likes to get into like this. Basically, what they called it when I trained was like flow drills, or like they'll call it like Dutch drilling. It's basically like you throw a combo at a guy, they throw back at you, blah blah. They just kind of go back and forth. It's like a rhythm thing. Um, he just likes to do that with guys, like you saw with Jamal Hill. He kind of just go back and forth. If the guy doesn't, Jamal just kind of stopped throwing at some point, so he just kind of was able to take over late. But a guy who doesn't do any of that kind of regular stuff, his name's Yuri. He doesn't do anything technical. He's just all over the place. He's a maniac. He is just, I think it's just going to be like Roundtree is just not going to like any of the moments in the fight. I think he just won't be able to get off any of the stuff that he wants to get off because he's just going to be constantly on the back foot. I think Yuri's going to pressure him forward. He doesn't like to be pressured back. None of the guys that he's fighting in the win streak that he led up to his title fight or anything were guys that like fought like they were all just regular. Like Dustin Jacoby's just a regular striker. Chris Dawkins, like you said, just a regular striker, just a boxer. Anthony Smith isn't a fighter. Carl Roberson is retired, I think.
Sucks.
Modestas Bukauskas might beat him now. I don't know. That was old Modestas, and that was when he cheated and hit his knee the wrong way. It was mildly competitive before that. He lost to Marcin Prachnio. He got outstruck on the feet, 102-49 by Marcin Prachnio. Now, obviously, that was 4 years ago, but it's not like a crazy.
Has not aged well.
No. Ian Kutalaba, he got KO'd. I mean, I guarantee you, he has not spent a minute doing jiu-jitsu since the Ian Kutalaba fight. And he's just gotten lucky that nobody has tried to wrestle him since that time. If Yuri wants to wrestle, I think he might just win this fight in the first round. I think if he takes down Khalil, I mean, Khalil has no idea what he's doing on the ground. Yuri has once subbed Glover Teixeira, so I don't think Yuri is some kind of like high level jiu-jitsu black belt, but he knows he has ideas of what happens on the ground. So he knows a choke. I don't know if Rountree has any idea what a submission is. So if he wants to make it really, really easy on himself, then he would just grapple and take it over. I highly doubt he does that. It's not his style. But I just think he's just going to be the more impressive fighter on the feet. I did like in the Yuri fight, Jamal Hill fight. One of the things Yuri used to do a lot, he would just duck. It would just bow his head, and that's how he would let people hit him on the top of the head. That's how he blocks shots. So I think he kind of learned after Pereira KO'd him twice that maybe he needed to learn some defense. And we saw the finishing sequence against Jamal Hill where he ducked at her, he slid out of range and countered back, was beautiful head movement. So I'm assuming he's going to continue working on that and getting better at the head movement and being more defensively sound. So I think he's just going to be, I don't even know if Rountree is going to be swinging. I think there's going to be a lot of swings and misses, and Yuri is going to come back with his, I don't know, whatever moves probably just making up moves as we speak. But I think Yuri gets him out of here late. I think he's going to overwhelm Rountree. I know you said by decision. There's a line out that's Yuri decision only. So on the off chance he gets finished, this will be voided. But it's Yuri plus 130. Somehow Khalil is minus 180 on this line. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't honestly see any path of Rountree winning a decision here. He would have to drop Yuri in multiple rounds. He's not going to be the minute winner. He's not going to throw more or land more. He has no grappling path. So I think that's about as safe a bet as you can probably find on the card. So, but I think Yuri finishes him late, honestly. Anyway, submission, TKO, I don't know, whatever path he decides as the warrior that he is.
Yeah. I mean, decision might not be the right pick. I mean, Yuri has finished 30 of his 31 wins. It's more of a Rountree can be a very defensive fighter, and we saw him last for a while against Pereira before just kind of getting exhausted and getting
Pereira's
finished.
Pereira's like a regular striker though, just like how it's almost that was a good matchup for Rountree, honestly, because Pereira will just sit out there and just strike with you and doesn't really want to pressure you at all. So Yuri's not going to just sit there.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm switching. It's Yuri by knockout, right? Plus 100. That's the official pick. He's going to come forward. He's going to force Rountree into an exchange with him. He's going to knock him out. Let's go. Spinning back elbow knockout for Yuri Prochazka. Let's move up to the first title fight of the night. Men's bantamweight division. Merab the Machine Dvalishvili at minus 400 with the comeback on Corey the Sandman Sandhagen. Red Ray, how do you have it?
So I'm very excited for this fight. I'm a known Merab hater, and I'm a known Corey Sandhagen fan. Thought he should have gotten a title shot a while ago. I just think he's such a talented fighter. I just like watching guys who are just good at fighting. Merab's not really good at fighting. He likes to just hold you. He's not a great wrestler. Doesn't really get guys down on a consistent basis. What's his takedown percentage is like 35%. It's not a he's not a jiu-jitsu guy. I know he made up some kind of choke last fight against Sean O'Malley. Sean just decided he was going to tap. It wasn't even a real choke. I think he was literally just laying on his face, and he decided that it was a hard time breathing. Sean didn't really seem committed in that fight, but in the first fight, wasn't that dominant. I know he won probably 49-46, 50-45, but a lot of holding, a lot of non-injuring of people. I don't know. Doesn't really just, as you say, just wants to out cardio you. The Usman fight was probably more impressive because I think Usman is a pretty well-rounded fighter. I mean, we saw him beat Corey, and he was able to win the last 3 rounds against Usman after. Usman claimed he hurt himself in the fight, but everybody hurts themselves in the fight. I don't like those excuses. Merab just was able to just be more of a warrior, I guess, so won that fight. But I know Corey's talked a lot about how he doesn't think Merab's going to out cardio him. He's not going to out wrestle him. Honestly, I don't think he does. because I mean, Corey doesn't really get out wrestled. I mean, we saw him against Usman. He has such high level grappling. I know he trains under Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall does a lot of weird stuff with the leg locks and stuff and things like that. That it's hard to. I mean, he can get taken down. Like Umar got him down 5 times, but nobody really holds him down, and he kind of just either gets into a weird position, gets back up. I don't even know if Merab gets him down. I think a lot of time Corey, he likes to do a move where he just kind of gives his back up, um, and I think Merab's going to take advantage of that. He's going to push him against the cage and win minutes that way. My issue is that Corey, anytime he faces a guy who I think that he should be a better striker than, such as Umar, I think he's a better striker. He got outstruck. That's how he lost the fight, not by grappling. Got outstruck. Against Peter Yan, he got outstruck. Peter Yan's a pretty basic striker, to be honest. He's just a boxer. Got outstruck. I don't think Merab's a good striker here, but I think when he fights guys that have the ability to take him down, kind of loses that like flow state that he wants to be in. And he kind of like, I don't know if he's as defensively sound as he wants to be. So, like I said, I think Corey's probably better everywhere besides, I think, just pure offensive wrestling. And I'm always picking against Merab. I pick against him every single time. And I love Corey. But I think Merab wins here. He's going to finally figure out some stupid way to win. I don't know. He always does. So I'm going to take Merab by decision, but I will not root for him. And I'm sure Corey will take 0 damage for the 5 rounds that he fights him. So, but Merab, I don't think people said maybe Corey knocks him out. I don't even know if Merab can get knocked out. I don't think his body works that way. So I just think Merab's probably going to somehow bore me to death and win a decision here. So Merab got Merab by decision.
Yeah, it's tough. I would love to pick Corey Sandhagen to cheer for him. I know he's talked about how he's been running a lot because Merab runs, so he's going to run. He says no one ever tries to offensively grapple against Merab, so he's going to try to offensively wrestle and out grapple him. I picked O'Malley against Merab twice. Thought he was going to knock him out both times. And both times he got death wrestled and got submitted. Not for the entire duration, but for the majority of it. We saw Umar get out grappled and beat by Merab. We saw Umar beat Sandhagen pretty handily. I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. I want to do it. I want to, but I know what's going to happen is the fight's going to start. And, I'm going to be like, all right, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Rob's just going to take him down. He's going to lay on him for a while, control him. He's not going to get submitted. Um, and Sandhagen doesn't have a lot of knockouts, doesn't knock a lot of guys out. As talented and as good of a striker as he is, Figueiredo got hurt. I mean, he was dominating that fight, but same thing with Song Yadong, doctor stoppage. Frankie Edgar, the famous flying knee knockout, doesn't happen too often. Marlon Moraes has been knocked out 10 times, so it's hard to really say that was an impressive knockout. Um, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I would love to, but Rob the Machine, I think he's gonna death wrestle him again, grind him out. He's serviceable on the feet and the striking. It has improved in his UFC career. I think this is a pretty likely Merab by decision at minus 200. We're going to move up the card.
What I just wanted to say I agree with the striking. I mean, even against, I mean, no one would say that O'Malley or that Merab is a better striker than O'Malley. And I think Merab was doing the better on the feet in the second, especially the last fight.
Yeah.
Somehow he's got like stupid, like lunging in left hooks that probably he should get pieced up on. Somehow nobody hits him with anything on the comeback. It's just weird. And
yeah,
so, I agree in that.
I think we both agree that O'Malley had a better shot of knocking him out than Sandhagen does. And that was what I thought would happen, is that we've seen Merab get dropped by lesser guys before, but those guys were smaller, more compact. He just has a way of dealing with these longer, rangier guys. But
maybe Sandhagen heel hook.
Maybe a flying knee knockout, right? Could happen. Anyway, go to the main event of the night, rematch. Magomed Ankalaev, Big Unk, minus 260 with the comeback on Poatan Alex Pereira at plus 210. Um, we saw this fight not too long ago, back in March. Very, very competitive fight. Pereira is claiming he was only at 40% of himself. I think you could argue he won the fight. He had his moments. It was a very uh, methodical fight from both sides. Magomed did land more strikes, was never able to take down Pereira, which I think is important. We did see Pereira kind of toss Ankalaev down at one point at the end of a round. Um, I did think Pereira was going to knock him out in the first fight. Did seem like Pereira was very slow, um, not able to really get his game plan off. We saw Ankalaev push him, push the pace, have Pereira backed up against the cage for a lot of the fight, hold him up against the cage for a while here and there. I don't fear Pereira getting knocked out. He did get hit with some good strikes in that last fight and was able to power through them. I think he showed good takedown defense. And with him saying he was only at 40% of himself, I mean, we know how often this guy was fighting. 4 times a year, high level fights. And Uncle Live's a guy who was not fighting a lot. Was able to put everything he could into this camp for one particular opponent. Um, and I do think this line is too wide for as close as the first fight was. And with everything Pereira is saying, I'm going to back Pereira just because I like him and I want him to win, which isn't a reason why you should be picking someone to win a fight. But I do think that he was very competitive in the fight. I think he showed he can stuff the takedowns. I think he's going to have a better game plan for this fight. And yeah, I mean, Ankalaev, he is a good striker. He is very good. This is going to be a very close fight. I do think it'll be a very similar fight to the first one, but I'm going to think Pereira has some bigger moments in some of these rounds, hits him with some bigger strikes, um, and ultimately wins another very close, competitive striking, point fighting to style match. And I'm going to lean Alex Pereira by decision. And our number on that is plus 800. Red Ray, how do you have it?
Ankalaev's going to smoke him. Unfortunately for you, Bart, we've seen what happens in these rematches fights, like just like the Merab O'Malley fight. The second fight usually goes. It's more of a dominant victory than the first one is. So
I do agree with that point.
Pereira doesn't really make any. If I saw Pereira make like adjustments ever, I think I would be more tentative or like more. I feel like I'd be more on his side here. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for him. I don't like Ankalaev. I don't like his fight style. I think he's boring. But Pereira doesn't really make any kind of changes. All of his fights, he fights exactly the same. He wants to hit you with the low kick. He wants to hit you with the left hook. I mean, he's not trying to grapple you. There's really nothing that changes. Problem is with Ankalaev fights southpaw, it almost eliminates the leg kick entirely, and it eliminates the left hook a little bit because you more want to fight with your power side, your rear hand when you fight a guy that's a southpaw. So it almost eliminates both of his main weapons. He doesn't have a third weapon. He usually just breaks people down, like we talked about with Rountree. It was just kind of accumulation. Rountree couldn't handle the power that he gives. He's not really even that great of a striker. Like Izzy's a better striker than he is, but he obviously is just so powerful that, like most guys, he can overcome his lack of speed or technical skills and get over there. I mean, he couldn't do anything to Ankalaev in the first fight. Couldn't hurt him. I don't even think Ankalaev's like you said, he stuffed all his wrestling. I'm not really even worried about it. I think Ankalaev probably will mix in wrestling. I don't think he needs to get it. If he does get it, he might finish him immediately. I don't think Pereira's a black belt on the ground, but we've seen him on the ground. He doesn't look comfortable on the ground. I it's not. I mean, he's training with Glover, but he's not like you never. I mean, you just know you can just tell by seeing him that he's not great on the ground. He mostly just wants to stand up. I think Ankalaev, if he's on the ground with him, he probably could TKO him, get him in a position where he just can't get back up and he's stuck on the ground. If he's stuck in the middle of the cage, the round's over for sure. The fight might be over, but I honestly think Ankalaev's going to hit him. We heard him in the second or third round at the end of the round, and the first fight, I think he just does it again. Ankalaev's a good striker. He's got good power. I just think that he's just the more refined fighter here. I just don't know what Alex is going to do to change up what happened last time. It wasn't even like there was ever like a competitive moment. He pretty much lost every minute of the fight. So I just don't see anything that he's going to be able to switch unless he can somehow rock Ankalaev or hurt him or something. I just don't know. I mean, we've never seen Ankalaev get hurt. So unless he's been training with Paul Craig and learns that triangle, I just don't know. Which he's been traveling the world. Maybe that was under the radar. I didn't want that one getting out. But that's all. I think Ankalaev, I think it happens pretty early. I think first or second round. I think he knocks him out. I think Pereira is probably going to pressure a little bit more this fight because he's probably was nervous about the wrestling in the first fight. Now he kind of really knows that he can stuff those takedowns. Ankalaev's not the greatest wrestler, so he might be even pressure a little bit more. And I think that's going to just work in Ankalaev's hands. That's why it's going to happen so early.
Okay, Red Ray is on Ankalaev by KO at plus 235. Well, thank you all for listening. As you may know, we have moved the picks to the x.com/RNB fight picks. We will be posting our betting cards on there on Saturday morning. So you can find it on there, x.com/RNB fight picks. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to this card. It is a great card from top to bottom. A lot of good fights on this one. And I don't know when we'll be back. May not be back until the end of the month for UFC 321 Aspinall versus Surreal Gone. So until then, please follow us on x.com/RNB Fight Picks. Good luck. We'll see you soon.